Greetings, YouTubists. Embo24 here, coming at you as always from Houston, Texas. And it's Meerschaum Monday. Smoking my KO Meerschaum. Coloring on the bottom, pretty good. A little bit on his beard. And a little bit on the grapes on the side here. In it is Lane BCA. Well, since it is Meerschaum Monday and we, to a degree, celebrate by smoking our Meerschams, I thought I would read, if you will allow that, a short, very short story on the origin of Meerschaum, or the introduction of Meerschaum as a tobacco smoking pipe material. And it is a story. I don't look at it as fact, although it probably is factual. This is how the story goes, and I'll just read it verbatim here. Although there is some evidence that Turks were making pipe bowls from Meerschaum in the mid-1600s, credit for introducing this material or mineral as a pipe material is generally given to Hungary. In the early 18th century, Count Andrassy, a noble from Budapest, who was an envoy to Turkey, brought home with him a present of 2 blocks of Meerschaum. He gave them to a cobbler, Karl Kowates, who, as the story goes, was also a skilled wood carver. And he commissioned him to make a pair of tobacco pipes from the blocks. In time, the cobbler presented the pipes to Andrassy, who in turn gave one back for payment for his labors. Several weeks went by, during which time Kowates smoked his new pipe while working on boots. One day he accidentally rubbed some of his cobbler's beeswax on a portion of the pipe. After a time, he noticed that the wax had improved the Meerschaum's ability to color, and he covered the entire pipe with it. Later he noticed that the beeswax also had improved the flavor of the smoke. These first European Meerschams soon proved their excellence. Andrassy was as delighted as Kowates. More Meerschaum was imported from Turkey, and before long, many of Andrassy's friends were also enjoying Meerschams made by the cobbler. This, at any rate, is the accepted tale. So, Meerschaum smokers and pipe smokers in general, you can take that story for what it is. It's a story. May have happened just like that. Maybe not. As far as the source of that story, I did read it from the book of Pipes and Tobaccos by Carl Ewa Jr., and that is spelled, his last name is spelled E-W-H-A, I believe. It's a very nice book. Just checking on the spelling here. case you're interested. Well, I must have skipped it. Yes, EHWA. Carl Ewa, EHWA Jr. And it's published by Random House Publishers in New York. Anyway, it's a good book. And until YouTube came along, it was a very large source of any knowledge that I had acquired about pipe smoking other than personal trial and error. It's a fairly old book now, and some of the care on Meerschaum's that he suggests is looked at as kind of old-fashioned and eccentric nowadays, and I agree. I know that I did see pipe smokers in the earlier days, especially around and when I had first gotten that book in the 70s. They would sew like a protector. They would actually sew it real crudely around their Meerschaum pipe so they wouldn't have to hold it, and it was usually made out of chamois, so they wouldn't touch the bowl and thereby risk ruining the finish. And of course, the block Meerschaums are delicate. I mean, they can break if you drop it, and they can scratch, but you know, if you carefully touch it, I don't think it doesn't really do anything. Out of habit, I do hold it by the stem, a habit I've acquired over the years, which the book suggests you do. Avoid touching the bowl and holding it by the stem. Anyway, that's what I did for years, and I still avoid holding the bowl to this day, even though most Meerschaum pipe smokers, including experts among them, disagree and don't say and say that touching your bowl very carefully doesn't do any harm, and I agree with that principle. It doesn't. Anywho, that's my contribution to celebrating Meerschaum Monday today. Hope you all are doing well, and smoking your Meerschaum with your favorite tobacco. This is MBO24 signing off. Have a good day, everyone.